Let's laugh and learn. This is the Right Side Forum. I'm your guest host, Raffy Williams. Hey there, thanks for watching. I'm Raffy Williams. The Bible says a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So today, we're going to be joined by people who help us have a cheerful heart. Brian Curry and Mark Phillips are magicians who perform a show called Catch Me, The Magic Duel. KD Comic and John Yeager, well, I guess you can imagine they're comedians. So thanks for joining us, guys. I mean, we're here just to kind of figure out how you make people smile, what makes people laugh and have fun, and you seem shocked that we're even having this conversation.
Well, the thing is I'm shocked at this stuff moving around. I'm like, what's going on here? No, I've been doing it 10 years, man. Love what I do, and that's what we're talking about backstage. Is the one thing we got into it is basically to make people laugh, and I want you to experience my pain to make you laugh and get away from your pain for 30 minutes. So you're not going to get into that today.
I'm usually just there for the cheese fry.
Is that the popular food at these venues?
I was just talking about my relationship with fast food employees.
Oh.
Closer than I'd like it to be, but
let's not go there. It's a family show.
It was a martini glass with a cracked in it.
Okay, so
that's a
so when
crack,
I
I
said
guess.
to think of a simple image, you thought martini glass with a cracked image. All right. Well, that's exactly what I drew. I drew a martini glass.
So your drawing's a little nicer than mine. I'm looking back at this crack, and I'm not sure that is much
If
of
it's
a
shine,
crack.
a
What
shadow.
do you think
That's
this
right,
is?
yeah.
What does this look like to you?
It looks like a cry for help to me, right?
Yeah, this is
with me, the only magic trick I do is I can make the audience disappear.
Oh.
So.
Well, that looks like the leg from Christmas Story, though. I'm gonna
there you go.
Yeah,
okay?
that's a good one.
Fragile, people. Okay.
I speak Italian too. Don't worry.
There you go. That's all I know.
Do you guys have any picks on lottery numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not telling you.
If they did, they wouldn't be here.
So what's the struggle? What's the process of even getting involved in being a comedian? Because that's what it's one of these things where, I go to a comic show and it's just a guy standing on stage looks like anybody else.
Yeah,
Right,
man.
right.
Well,
But
there's
he's
a guy
funnier.
just standing over
He's-
there, just reading off a teleprompter.
Are the horrors? They're funnier than I am, but that's interesting to me.
It's a family show, right?
Yeah.
So let me cut that out and this out. That's usually what comics do when we get up there. We can't talk about this, this, and this, this. Some of the horror stories are just. I talked about it with you out there. I said, is going to a show and everybody's very judgmental with you, very judgmental. Maybe they want to do it, but they're afraid to get up there and do it. The first thing they're going to do is go, "Who's this guy? Who is this guy? He's not Kevin Hart. He's not Kevin James. He's not even a Kevin. I don't even want to mess with him." And that's the thing. I think that's one of the hardest things. But I've been doing it about 10 years, so I've adapted. And I really just like to go out there and, like I said, make the people laugh and just forget even that realm they're in. You're not the judge. You're not, Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
You're not. You're there to have fun and laugh. And I mean, some of my other horror stories involve college, a towel, dorm rooms, and I can't tell the rest because I'm a godly guy. But those are some of my horror stories.
Transition from doing kind of more risque comedy to doing a cleaner, more family-friendly version now. How's that transition been?
Tough, rough, but finally getting the kinks worked out where what I've really learned, I learned from, we were talking about a mentor earlier, is Kevin Lee. He's DC's born and bred here. I learned a lot from him. And what happens is, and when you first start out, man, you want to try to be that shock comic just to get the laughs. Right. And personally, me, over the years, I realized my writing was more geared toward family, kids, life. So you don't have to put the explicitives in there. You don't have to be over the top with it. I use more of my facial expressions. I have people tell me, "Oh, you got like the Jim Carrey type thing, where you're just all over the place with it." And then the punchlines, you throw in some one-liners every once in a while here. And that clean comedy, I don't know if you've run into the same thing, but it just opens up a whole new world to perform in other locations, not just the comedy clubs, the bars, restaurants. I mean, I'm doing weddings now. I'm doing golf tournaments. You and I are doing a golf tournament soon together, and so it's crazy.
We got to stop here.
Go ahead.
How does a comic act fit into a golf tournament?
He's doing the comedy. They're sticking me out on the course.
For the comedy. comedy.
I'm carrying bags for the people.
Yeah, I'll go into what they call the headliner, 30 to 45 minutes of, hey, we got a 5-year-old here, we got a 6-year-old here, can you just kind of keep it clean? And I'm like, yeah, I keep it clean. So I do a lot of incorporating the crowd, the kids and stuff.
And you were saying that we can find your free download, right?
See that
we can
right
find a
there?
free download online, right?
You sure can.
Where do we go?
You can go to comediankd.webs.com. There's a little icon that says free album. Doesn't get any easier than that. And that's my professional website.
Hey, you
KD
said
the
you had that
comic.
transition, so it was learning who you are and then learning to give that to the audience instead of trying to be what the audience wants, right?
Exactly, and that's very hard in comedy because you're trying to pertain to the audience. You're trying to get those laughs. That's how comedians live, you know. But as I grew, I knew the material was good enough. Now, how can I twist it to make it go over the top? So, you know, starting to work with like sketch comedy troupes and stuff like that really have helped me on stage become more of a what they call a physical performer, they say now. You know, and when I need to emphasize something instead of an explicitive, I get really loud, you know, because I do talk about having a 2-year-old run around the house. I'm like, knock it off, you know, that kind of thing. But
take you to put
I don't
together a
know.
show, Katie?
with
Yeah,
it-
it took an hour. It took me an hour to do 5 solid minutes, I think. At
the
least.
crazy thing is I don't know. When my writing, if there's something funny out there I came up with, I was telling these guys about a joke, ran it past you, and I said, okay, I'm gonna write that down. And when to set it up, when I say I have to go do 15 minutes, I have my registered locked down 15 minutes, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and wrote. I had this conversation with a comedian in Virginia Beach the other day, and we had a writing session. I go, dude, you're the first one I've ever had a writing session with. All my stuff is just naturally off the top, you know, so I remember that, or thank God for iPhones, because I'm like, that's how I write.
Yeah.
Wait, he said, just
Yeah.
really quick,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You mentioned being spontaneous. I think that's one of the attributes I really try to do a lot of, and I hear that from a lot of friends, family. They're like, I've heard you do that joke 100 times, but you do it different each time. It's because I'm spontaneous up on stage. I don't know how it's going to be delivered.
Yeah.
You know.
And so, but it is playing a little bit to the audience, but it also
Right.
gets people
Thanks
coming
for
back.
joining
and
us today. I
back
think we
again.
had a
It was fun time discussing comedy and magic and the things that go along with that and how to smile and just kind of get away from your week. So thank you for joining us. I'm Raffy Williams. Next time Armstrong will be here, and I want to thank all my guests. I'm going to tune in and see what we've got in store. Go to the website, download the free
Yes.
show, come to DC, check these guys out in their magic act, and check out John wherever he resides.
I don't know,
Still trying to figure that out.
Taco Bell in Alexandria. See you guys there.
Thanks a lot, and tune in next week. I'm Raffy Williams.